What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got another exciting KTM build for you. So in today's video, we're gonna take this thing for a rip. We're gonna do a walk around and we're gonna go through this whole bike from head to toe. And I'm gonna show you guys what our complete conversion kit entails. All right guys, there's been a lot of questions about how easy is it to get the battery out of this KTM. Now you guys obviously know how simple this is on the dirt bike, so I did kind of keep that in mind when I was building this. So it's basically take a couple thumb screws out. You've got the OEM pivot right here. And you just simply flip this cover up, you pull your battery out. You guys can see how we built this cover. This was all fabricated to basically house the ATV style seat. We had to give it a location to actually mount to. So again, this was all hand fabricated to mimic basically a gas tank on a three-wheeler. And then the seat comes up and latches into the seat post mount. And simple as this, guys, you just flip this up and get right to your OEM battery, just like factory. Now I did fabricate some filler panels here out of aluminum. There's no welding on that, it's all hand bent. Powder coated it a nice satin black. You kind of see how we have that. Just tucks up just underneath this cover. And then this holds it down. We have this going into the factory holes on the YFZ fenders, with a simple bolt in the back with a nylon nut on the back side. Holds everything together really nice. Let's take a look at this subframe real quick. So we've got an interesting front bracket on here. Now, number one, we had to hook our seat into something. So this is basically like a standard normal ATV subframe from right here back. Now this front mount design was a little bit tough because we did have to drop the seat down to get it to work on the dirt bike chassis. We also had to clear the shock reservoir. So this is a fully boxed front mount with a cross sleeve that was machined on our CNC lathe, and it's actually all fully boxed and TIG welded all the way around. And that's what's holding the front of this subframe up. And we also have the dual mounts on the bottom on each side, very similar to all of our other Trike subframes. But out of everything on this bike, I'd say the subframe was the hardest piece to figure out, along with that front seat holder. Got a couple electrical tabs on here, a couple wires zip tied up, a couple fender brackets. So we made all that to work with the YFZ fenders. And right in the back, we've got a YFZ grab bar with more fender brackets built in. All right guys, we've also had a lot of questions about the swing arm design since the last video. We retained the factory KTM pivot points and of course the no-link shock position. So all that stuff's factory. We recreated the pivot tubes in our CNC lathe, and then we basically fabricated this ATV rear end to go on the back. Now this is all Honda TRX 450R axle carrier and brakes. It's just what we use on a lot of our Trike builds. It works really well and it holds up. Now you guys can see in the front here, we actually used a KTM factory front chain slider from a different KTM. It works better with our swing arm. We've got the factory top guide right there. And it goes right back to this round housing swing arm. You basically loosen these pinch bolts, rotate your carrier. It's technically on a cam, so it'll take your center point and bring it up and back to tighten the slack in your chain. And we've got the TRX 450R caliper in the back with our billet anti-fade nut. Also got our billet caliper bracket with guard. You guys are probably wondering what this contraption is. Well, this is our saw sprocket guard. So it literally looks like a saw. It hangs down past your sprocket, so you don't have a skid plate in the center, which actually gives you more ground clearance, which is very important riding in rocks and all that fun stuff. And if you're riding over any trees or anything like that, or anything that's really gonna hold you up, this will actually add traction as you're driving over it, and it's not gonna, again, hang the skid plate up. So that's why we run the billet protection on here. It just gives you the maximum ground clearance with the best protection possible. And now we go over to the beadlock wheels. So we chose some 8-inch beadlock wheels. Any of you off-road guys know you gotta have a beadlock if you're a serious rider, because you can pop the sidewall of your tire off real easy, hitting rocks or anything like that. And then of course the dirt bike foot pegs are a no-go, so got the wide folding pegs on here that we fabricated. So we try to run these in all of our three-wheeler builds. All right guys, let's get up to the thumb throttle here. Now, this is a drive-by-wire bike, so I can't just simply bolt any old Honda throttle on here with a new cable. It just doesn't work like that. So I actually drew this whole throttle assembly up in CAD. I mimicked the end of the original throttle tube, which normally it would spin here. So basically slid this assembly over so we kept the same positioning. And we have this billet assembly that goes inside here, works with all the factory electronics. And we've got a simple thumb lever on here. So our customer wanted a thumb throttle. This thing basically is a quarter turn, and it's very close to how a normal ATV thumb throttle would be. So normally an ATV throttle would be swinging from this side going this way. It just worked out to where we were able to actually use this and make his dream come true of having a thumb throttle. So now we got a nice little thumb throttle on here. And we go right up to our billet triple clamps. So we take the dirt bike forks. We simply just widen it out, guys. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do, we basically take dirt bikes and modify them. So this starts with the wider triple clamps. We press the stem in. We're using all the factory bearings, factory headlight. We've got a three-wheeler style fender on here that's set up to work with this headlight. And it goes down to our billet front hub with our 10-inch front wheel. And this is a ATV style front tire, 23/710. Take a look on this side. You guys can see we use the factory KTM brakes with a rotor adapter. So this adapts our three-wheeler style hub to the KTM disc. And of course, we've got the KTM caliper with the speedometer. All that stuff's still working. Runs back up through just like it did. Everything came together real nice. We have a custom bracket on here to hold the KTM speedometer. Now guys, because this does not have a foot brake on it, we've got the front brake right here and we've got the rear brake right here. So we simply just ran a longer line all the way back to this caliper. Replace, basically runs in the factory location and it comes down and goes direct to this rear caliper. It's real nice for doing wheelies. You can keep a finger on that brake lever, keep the front end where you want it. It would be nice to add a foot brake on here, but honestly, like after riding it for 5 minutes, I'm a fan of this. I mean, there's no clutch on the bike, so it's nice staying in the attack position and keeping a finger on the lever. Works real well. Another feature, guys, we have the OEM taillight actually mounted to a custom bracket on the back of this plastic here. So we powder coated it orange to match the subframe. We bolted it to the plastic. Works with all the sensors, so every time you hit the lever, it is going to brighten up. Try to keep these as OEM as possible and use as many parts as physically possible that we can make work as a Trike conversion. Now guys, we chose to use 18-inch back tires on this bike, mainly because this is not one of the biggest e-bikes out there in terms of power. Like, it's quick, but we didn't want to go any bigger than an 18-inch. We did tweak the gearing on the back sprocket. It currently has the OEM front sprocket on there, but overall, I mean, I'm going to show you guys how much this thing rips. I'm going to throw the chest cam on. We're going to take this thing for a ride and have some fun. So let's go grab the chest cam. We're going to try the different modes and just kind of see how fast it is and how it feels as a trike. It does scoot right along. I've already ridden this bike, but I want to show you guys what it's like to take a ride on one of these. And if you have one of these and you rode three-wheelers in the past and you understand how to ride a three-wheeler and how fun it is, this kit might be for you. So cool thing on this KTM, turn the key on, make sure your kill switch is on right here, and we're gonna hit the start button. So we're starting out in mode 1. It's the weakest mode and the slowest mode. All right guys, that was mode 1. It's not very impressive. Let's go to 2. All right, so we're in 2. Mode 1 kind of felt like Almost like a CRF 110. Oh, spinning the tires now. That's quite a, dude, Mode 2 is huge difference. So let's try this. See if I can get it to wheelie in Mode 2. Wants to, but not quite. All right, it's time to go fast. All right, guys, Mode 3. Quite a bit faster. This thing actually does rip for what it is. It's a wheelie machine. Definitely rips in Mode 3. The other modes aren't for me though.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I hate to say it, but I think the e-bicycle will smoke this thing.
Probably.
Of course, that's 12,000 watts. It's chilly today.
It is chilly.
Yeah, we're gonna get the e-bike out. Which has pedals. 12,000 watt, we're gonna see. I think it's gonna smoke it. It's also quite a bit lighter. I like the thumb throttle. It's working nice. All right. Mode 3. We're gonna do a couple wheelies just for the camera. Show you guys how snappy it is. Yeah, you kind of do gotta pull back on the bars and just shift your weight back a little bit. You definitely want to ride that brake. Just hold it pinned. Guys, this thing's going about, I'd say 80 kilometers is what that said. God, this thing's fun to ride. So much fun to ride. What a ripper. All right, let's get the other bike out and see which one's faster. There we go, guys. 12,000 watt e-bicycle. It's got pedals. And it's got a throttle up here. So we got a half twist up here, which I actually really like because it lets me still grip the outside and twist the inside. See the giant hub motor on here? Now we did kind of show a quick clip of this in a previous video. We were waiting to get that thing dialed. We want to see which one's faster. Obviously this weighs quite a bit less, but that's a KTM. So we'll see. We got Captain Forklift over here again, holding us up. See, I think it's a fair trade-off. They get to do all that and they let us race, so it's fine. Oh, this seat's too tall for me.
This throttle's cool.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I honestly do.
I like it better than the twist.
Me too. I'm not even a thumb throttle guy, and I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, go for it, dude. Should have lowered this seat. I'm gonna eat shit because of this seat. All right, so we're gonna do a rolling start. They're real close.
They're a little laggy, but
because we played around with the gearing on that to make sure it still pulled. We got a forklift guy coming again. It's all good. All right, so I'll get the hit and then you go as soon as I start actually going. I'll do it one more time. It's tough because like they both react so different. This one has a little bit of a slow increase and that one's kind of instant.
It is instant.
So
I feel like we could almost be neck and neck.
all right, how do you want to do this?
We could both probably just try to roll into it and then lay on it at the same time.
All right, so just
try to be even.
let's go real slow. Just get rolling like 2 miles an hour and then you just say go. That was close. That was so close. Yeah, let's do it again and then we'll be done. All right. That gets up to speed really fast.
Yeah.
So that tells me we could actually add a little more gearing to that. But for a trike, I mean, out of the hole, that thing rips.
Yeah, it does.
My battery's about half dead too, because I haven't charged it yet. I wonder if that'll make a difference. That was fun. Yeah. So that thing out of the hole, it just takes off like a rocket. This is set up to be a little bit smoother because it's a two-wheeler. And then this thing obviously has more top speed. Well, I think we could add a little more top speed to that and get it closer. But then you're gonna lose that punch down low for wheelies and all the fun stuff as a trike. Well, that was really fun. Anyway, guys, head over to hvmotousa.com if you're interested in this e-bike right here. Head over to bbctrikes.com if you're interested in that trike. Again, we started the new YouTube channel, High Voltage Moto. We're just going to be doing a bunch of cool e-bike builds. custom chassis, long travel suspension, all kinds of stuff. Hub motor, mid drive. It's gonna be fun. But right now we're having a blast ripping this trike. Real happy with it. I think I want to pick one up for myself, probably as a big wheel and a trike. But I think the next one needs to be a big wheel for sure. So if you enjoy watching the trike builds, definitely leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video. You got pedals and an e-motor.
But up to 60 miles an hour, it's legit with the dirt bikes. You know, it rips.